Welcome, 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 welcome. Season 2, Vegan Pop Eats. Yes, indeed. I'm so excited. Vegan. Hi, how are you? Vegan. How are you? Welcome. Hi, how are you? Hi. Yes, indeed. Welcome. Vegan, Soulicious, vegan. Hi, how are you? Soulicious. Soulicious? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Hi, how are you? Cious. Soulicious? I think I spelled it correctly. Hey, how are you? Hi, 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 hi. Hi. Vegan Soulicious. Hi, everyone. Hi, 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 hi. I'm so excited. This is the first episode of season 2 of Vegan Pop Eats Live. I'm so excited that everyone is joining us and on time. I am Angela Yvonne. For those of you who don't know me, I am the host of Vegan Pop Eats Live and also Vegan Pop Eats. It's a show that is changing the perception about living vegan, plant-based, vegetarian, through conversations, cuisines, and conscious living. Tonight is a special night because we have a special soul coming on. And when I say, when you meet her, you're going to be obsessed with her like I'm obsessed with her. Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yes, there she is. She didn't even let me give a full introduction yet. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And there she is. She has to request to come in and then I can bring her in. But yes, tonight is going to be a treat because when you meet her, you are going to be obsessed. Obsessed. She is such a special energy, such a special woman. She is phenomenal, just phenomenal. And I cannot wait to learn more about you. Yes, indeed. Learn more about her and learn more about what she's doing in this movement. I'm super excited to have her come on.
Hey sis, I'm just sorting out my lighting.
Hi.
I am like, what is with my lighting? Okay.
Yes, I try to come on a little. Hey, how are you? You look so gorgeous.
How are you?
How are you as well? Yes, indeed. When I say that I am so happy that you are my first guest, you are just so dope to me. I aspire to be you in a different life.
I'm gonna stop you. I know this is your show, but I'm gonna stop you because I have been dying to be on your show and you didn't even know about it. Like, I've been like obsessing over you, and then I bumped into you in LA and I was like, oh my God, I want to be on your show.
I gagged when I met you because this is so funny, and I'm going to start the show, is that I was literally talking about you to a friend of mine because I was like, they've started this Black vegan cooking show, and she's this chef and she has this accent and she's so gorgeous and she's so this. Oh my God, I'm going to reach out to her to see if she would want to be on my show. And then when I saw you in LA, you were like, I was trying to get to, I almost passed out. I kept my composure. But it was just so funny how, you put that energy out there and then all of a sudden it just comes to pass. It just comes to pass. Hello to everyone who is coming in to see this wonderful energy, because when I say that your energy is so infectious, your energy is everything. I aspire to be
My kid might not agree, but hey.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who are joining us, I am Angela Yvonne, and I am the host of Vegan Pop Eats, where we are changing the perception of living animal free.
Amen.
Whatever title that you want to call yourself, whether it's a vegetarian, whether it's vegan, whether it's plant forward, whether it's plant based, we are changing the perception of that because you can still have life in abundance without harming the planet and animals. And I am so thankful and I am so grateful that we have in our midst on the very first episode of season 2 of Vegaa PopEats Live, we have Chef Charlise Rookwood, also known as Vegan Soulicious, also known as Energy Personified, also known as
You're
the
crazy.
star of the new show, the Black Vegan Cooking Show, and you'll be able to see that on Mademoiselle. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. A million times thankful that you wanted to be on my show.
Sis, thank you. Yeah, the feeling is mutual. I adore you. I love your platform, your space, your energy is infectious. And what we're doing right here, right now needs to be done more often.
Absolutely. So the first question that I always like to start off with
Okay,
is,
you got questions.
yes, I have questions. I always like to ask people how did their journey start, but I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I want
Beautiful.
you to tell me, who is Charlise Rookwood, aka Vegan Soulicious in this space?
I know it's such a lot to say, isn't it? It's a lot of words. It's a lot. So just to let you know, it's Charlise Rookwood.
Charlise. I done remixed your name.
It's okay.
Charlise.
It's
Okay,
okay. It's
gotcha.
happened to me since I was at school. Who am I in this space? I love that. That's nice. I am, first and foremost, I would say I'm a mum. I am a chef. I'm a musician. I'm a carer. I'm a giver. I'm someone that's trying to create access to a healing space for our people.
Yes,
Through
indeed.
food.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So tell us about your journey into the vegan space, because when I was researching about you, I realized that we have more in common than I thought we did, because we both were brought to this space because of cancer and how it affected one of our parents and how it changed the trajectory on how we were now going to operate in this space. So can you just tell me, how did you get here and what it's been like, you know, the transitioning from there to here now?
Okay. I didn't know that about you either, sis.
Yeah,
We're yet to have dinner and really get
absolutely.
get into the sisterhood. Um, I think a lot of people think that I kind of just turned vegan overnight. I'll keep it as short as I can because it's epic. I'd say it initially, it's been a really slow, gradual journey. And my grandma, so I grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist church. So Seventh-day Adventists are vegetarians.
Oh, wow.
So I was just by default eating a vegetarian diet a lot because I spent a lot of time with my grandma in London. So back then, like in the 70s and early 80s, they in the Seventh-day Adventist church, they were already eating all the mock meats. Like they were doing it from way back then.
Yeah.
Yes, so it was a comfortable space for me. Um, when I was really little, I didn't like eggs and I didn't like milk and I wasn't keen on red meat. It had nothing to do with saving the animals, the planet, or the environment. My body just rejected it. I naturally felt sick. So my
Oh,
parents,
wow.
they never forced me to drink the milk at school. They tried to kind of force down your throat every day. They never forced me to eat eggs. They were like, okay, if you don't like it, you don't like it. And, you know, my dad's Jamaican, my mom's from Mauritius. So I grew up in a household that very much, you know, stuck to their traditions when it came to food. So there was always a lot of fresh vegetables and lentils and pulses. My parents were more or less pescatarians, so there wasn't a lot of red meat happening in my family. So there was already a lot of stuff that had already naturally and organically eliminated itself from
Right.
my diet without me even trying. And then 10 years ago, my dad got diagnosed with stomach cancer. And it was fast and furious, and I didn't even have a second to even blink and figure out.
Right.
But when that initially happened, because it was stage 4, it was just so far gone. I was still like, because I'm his only child, so I was still like, well, we're gonna find a way to reverse this holistically. That's what we're gonna do. And my dad's Jamaican, so he's all about the
Right.
and the herbs and boil up the ginger. Don't go to the doctors. He doesn't trust them. He's never taken pharmaceuticals. So I started digging into the causes of stomach cancer. I
Yeah.
started digging into prevention. What we're eating, what we're drinking, what we're even cooking our food in. And I invested in these amazing pots that were titanium, and you don't need to add oil or water, and everything steams itself. And I was going through all this crazy stuff.
Yes.
It was too far gone, and sadly we lost my dad. But then back to back, we lost his sister and a brother and another sister to the same thing.
Yes.
We've kind of gone like 4 passings in a very short space of time. And it felt like I put a lot of work in. And people do say to me, you know, you put so much time into trying to heal your dad, and you're vegan now, but everything that you did didn't work. And I'm like, well, I'm not a miracle worker, but
Right.
I see my dad now. I see my dad's passing as a gift.
Yes.
Because if he hadn't have gone through all of that and he hadn't have passed, I wouldn't have delved into any of this. This would not be my space right now. My daughter wouldn't have come into this world plant-based. It would have been a very, very different journey. So it was a blessing. As oddly as it sounds, me losing my dad was a gift, 100%.
And that is, and I got goosebumps because that's exactly, my mom passed of breast cancer. It's going on 8 years.
Oh, wow.
And I remember because I was living in the South, and you know, we ate meat, we ate all these different things, but when it happened, I became obsessed with, oh, I know it's the food. I know it's the food. But when you're living in the South, there's not veganism and vegetarian, you know, things around you. So you're not
supported.
Yeah, and you're not equipped with the knowledge. So when someone
No.
says, oh, but you're vegan now, and how are you supposed to know? Because back then we didn't have as much information as we have now, and then where the environment was not supportive of that. So
Exactly.
it is a blessing, because now you stop the generational, you know, curse, or you stop the generational
Yes.
thoughts about foods.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And people don't understand that, because, you know, I had an interview with Surviving Vegan, and she was saying that, you know, it's hard for people to understand the lifestyle that we're living, because when you're expressing, oh, this is something that could, you know, keep you here a little bit longer, or this is something that will give you life in abundance.
100.
All they're seeing is, what you mean I can't have no ham hocks?
Exactly. It's seen with very, very skeptical eyes. And I think
Absolutely.
And you can't always meet someone and say, well, just give me 10 minutes and let me just tell you my journey.
No.
We don't have that luxury. But when you get the opportunity, like now, like here, you get a chance to share your story and your truth, and it resonates different with people, because they're like, okay, this comes from a place of healing. This comes from a place of hurt. And I would be, it would be a huge disrespect if I didn't continue that journey that I began when I was trying to heal my dad. His passing would completely be in vain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what are some of the things that you know now that you wish you would have known then?
I wish back then. I wish
And
I'd known some.
not just pertaining to your father's passing, but
Yeah,
just in general, because we've all grown in this lifestyle.
yeah. We've all grown in that lifestyle where, I mean, when you're islanders, right, you kind of
Yeah.
you're brought up a certain way. So whenever I go back to Jamaica or back to Mauritius, stay with family, you're like, well, I don't really mess with a fish in England because you know it's kind of farm produced and it's got mercury. But the fish in our ocean, like our fish, is good. So just not having that attachment then to trauma and when you know traumatized foods, when something is killed, it goes through trauma and that trauma then gets passed through to your body. It's not just necessarily about it is attached to, you know, diabetes
Right.
and cancer and all that stuff, but there's I never had that connection when I was younger, and no one spoke about it, like when an animal is killed, that
Right.
chemical they release when they're going through trauma that stays in that produce that goes in the factory, in the package, gets pumped with a whole bunch of shit. You then go buy it and then you try and digest that. Of course, it's going to kill you. I wish I had had more awareness. Then I grew up in the city. I grew up in London, so I didn't grow up on a farm. I never ever got to see an animal be slaughtered.
Right.
So, and I kind of think that's something that should kind of be offered in a curriculum at the right age, is children understanding that part of the process. Because I think kids would make decisions really, really early on in life in regards to, you know, what they're going to do when it comes to eating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. And I totally agree with that, because I think that, you know, everybody wants to police, you know, health. Everybody wants to have their opinions. They want to have their say so, but science is science.
Yeah.
Health is health. And
Exactly. And if it's proven, it's proven.
it's proven, it's proven. And I know that there's a lot of money to lose with, you know, you know, lifting the veil on animal cruelty and things of that nature. But it's important and it's vital for us to be able to live the best type of life that we can live.
Absolutely. And it's kind of just knowing, um, it's knowing the energy that you're taking on, you know, what you're passing through your body, and just the whole misconception, you know, where do you get your protein, and you know, and you got to get it from milk and calcium and it, you grow up with that mentality that for your nails to grow you need to drink cow's milk. And I wish now I know why I didn't like it, because I
Right.
that was not my milk to drink, plain and simple.
Absolutely. So many, there are so many titles that we call ourselves, because I had the opportunity to speak with Dr. Aris Latham, and he turned me up. It turned me out.
Right.
He wore me out. He wore me out. What title do you call yourself when you are speaking in a conversation with someone? Do you use veganism? Do you use vegetarian? Do you use plant-based? Do you use plant forward? Because there's just so many things.
I
And
know. Everyone gets so bloody emotional about it.
yes,
I have to be honest. I think everyone needs to just chill first and foremost, because
absolutely.
every fucking week a new title comes up for us.
Right.
Like, can we just do good in the world and just do our bit and meet people where they are? Just meet people where they are. Just be respectful. Don't be judgmental. Be kind, be gentle. You'll get a much better response that way, you know?
You are, before I finish, you are so calming. Like, I'm like, what is she? Does she have a certain tea?
I'm
Like,
hypnotizing.
do you have a tea that you could just, you know, just tell me what it is? Because not that I go from 2 to 10, but the way that you are just so at peace. You are such a peaceful person. How did you get there? And do you contribute it to the lifestyle, or have you always just across the board been, peaceful?
That's interesting. I've always been a peaceful person. Yeah. And I'm sure you've always been a peaceful person. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. When I was a teenager, well, listen, there are other sides. There are other sides, and
Absolutely.
they surface when they need to surface. I'm a protector, so, and I'm very protective over my friends and family.
Me
And
too. Are you a Gemini?
I'm Scorpio, and that's when I
Oh.
switch. I switch up when it comes to protecting the people that I love. I would say becoming a mom has made me calmer.
She is beautiful.
Yeah.
Those of you need to go on her page. That you did good. You did good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's switch gears and talk about how, you know what, I am so proud of you. And the reason why I'm proud of you, because anytime that there is an opportunity for you to be able to show people how dope our lifestyle is a win for everyone. You are the star of the Black Vegan Cooking Show on Mademoiselle. And when I say that, when I've seen several episodes of it, and each time that I see it, it just warms my heart, because that's what it's about. That is, you're getting all these different types of personalities on there, and you are showing them. First of all, you're showing how peaceful you are. Second of all, you're showing that our food is really, really good, and all you have to do is just have an open mind about it. Tell me how this project came about, and what are you hoping to see in the future? Because I know you have big things coming up in a couple of months, but what was your thought process when you were approached, or whether you pitched the show, or whatever the case may be? Just walk me through the whole thing, because I'm just so proud of you. I'm just so proud of you.
Charisse on there. Woohoo! Sorry.
Yes.
Go shout out the ladies.
Yes.
You know what? Okay, so I come from the music industry. So from the age of 16 to when I had my daughter, when I was 40, I was in the music industry.
Yes, ma'am. You better come through.
That was my life. I lived out of a suitcase, and I've practically been on tour since I was 16. Wow. And I actually found out I was pregnant with my daughter when I was performing in Atlanta on stage. That's when I felt sick and I knew I was pregnant. And that was when I walked away from the music industry. So in regards to being in front of the camera, that's always felt quite a comfortable space for me. I was mainly a songwriter for Universal Records for many, many years. So I wrote for others. And then I ended up doing backing vocals for a whole bunch of people, and just. And
so you were singing?
Yeah, singing. Like you singing. So when I found out I was pregnant, I came off the road, and I just knew that I wasn't going to be that musician mum with the belly on tour. I just commend all the women out there, the Sierras, the Beyoncés. They are soldiers. I'm like, yes, because I am not. So I had my daughter, and that's what really kind of struck a chord with being vegan and the lifestyle. And I moved here 6 years ago from London, and I was terrified at the thought of what they were going to try and feed my kid in school, because I'd seen all the crazy TV shows with the hot dogs and all the madness.
Right.
So when we first got here, I found a plant-based school for her.
Really? In New York?
She's I won't say the school because she's still there, but
no, you don't have to say it, but after, really?
When she leaves in a couple of weeks, I am going to be sharing everything about the school on my page, because that's
phenomenal.
So I started doing the after school cooking programs for the 2nd and 3rd graders of vegan cooking school. So I thought, let me start with the little ones, because my little one loves being in the kitchen. And
Right.
it was amazing. And it was going up until COVID came. And then I lost my contract with the school. The whole world shut down.
Yeah.
And then when the world shut down, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to pour my heart into Instagram.
Yeah.
Because before that, I was doing private catering, vegan catering, Jamaican and Mauritian food. I was doing events, and I was supplying all the local bakeries with vegan banana breads and zucchini breads. And that was my thing. And then COVID came and I lost everything,
Right.
because, you know, for obvious reasons. So then I
Yeah.
poured everything into Instagram, and I just started cooking more and sharing more. And then I realized, like, wait a minute. Everybody likes the look of my food. And so I started cranking it up. So I said, let me cook more, let me share more. I'm a
Right.
musician, find some dope music to put in the background. I am a voiceover artist, so I did a lot of voiceover work in England. So I thought, and then a few of my friends were like, you need to use your voice more on Instagram. You're like, you need to do
Right.
voiceovers more on your food, because, you know, because of this silly accent. So I said, okay, cool, I'll do that. And then before I knew, my Instagram just started going bonkers. And then I was like, okay, I'd love for this to be a thing. So
Yeah.
initially, I was going to start inviting some of my industry friends into my house. I thought, okay, if we get everyone tested and they can come into my home and be my guest on a live, and we can cook together. And it was a nice idea, but it just wasn't really how I kind of envisaged it. It would have been okay. Then I went to 2 different networks. I'm not going to drop names, but I went to 2 different networks. The project got picked up for the Vegan Soulicious show, and because of
Right.
COVID, I lost both my contracts.
Right.
And then on coming out of COVID, I met one of the VPs at a party, and I started talking to her about it, and she was like, this is an amazing idea. She said,
Right.
oh no, we need, and she said, like, I Digital Madame Noir is a space for Black women. We don't have anything like this. This is perfect. So I was like, what? Yes, well, I'll do anything. I'll do it for free. I don't care. I just want to do
Right.
it. So Digital Urban One, they picked it up, and it went from like, we're doing this, to, okay, who are your guests? It moved so fast, and before I knew it, they were like, we got to get this filmed before Christmas.
Right.
Figure out who your guests are. We need to find a nice little space for you to film in that feels like it's somewhere, you know, you would live and you would cook. And before I knew it, I had a crew and a team. It's really mad, because it got picked up and dropped for 3.5 years. So when it got picked up, I was at quite a low point. I was quite disheartened.
Right.
I was just like, this COVID thing is just not going to allow me to kind of get out the way I want to get out there. But Urban One, like, they said, we're doing it.
Exactly.
And a lot of our guests, the original guests, a lot kind of got COVID. They couldn't turn up on the day. We had to do a lot of replacements. It looks flawless when you look at it, but it was a fucking mission to film.
I can imagine. Because people don't understand what goes on behind scenes.
It's a lot.
What you get is the end product, but before that, I have cussed out everybody.
Listen. But I have to tell you, everyone that was on the show that did the final 6 were just meant to be, it was meant to be those 6. And every single one of those guests went out of their way to help me and make this happen. Everyone did it for love. No one did it for the opportunity to be,
Right.
you know, to be seen or get more following. Everyone just did it because they wanted to be a part of the movement. And that's what made the whole thing so beautiful in the end. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, so yeah.
Okay.
That's
I
how that
was just going to piggyback on that, because I I find pride in our community because, you know, when we went to LA to meet all of the different people that were in this space, and it was almost like we knew each other without having to explain, you know, just what we were about. And that's what I really appreciate, about our community, the Black community, and also the white vegan community, because as a whole, you know, they're very supportive to get the word out, and they're not really concerned about who's saying the message. They're just wanting as all hands on deck.
Let's just get it out, right? Let's just get the message out. And that's what I say to people. You know, it's really funny. I've had a few people message me and say, why did you call your show the Black Vegan Cooking Show?
Because I'm Black.
I'm like, because that's what it fucking is, the Black Vegan Cooking Show. But it's for everyone to view, and for everyone to experience and be a part of, and learn something about, you know, my cultures and my guests. But I just, for me, it was extremely important to just start that machine off. And I'm hoping this is a domino effect, because there are so many of us that we need a billion Black vegan cooking shows.
Absolutely.
For me, one of the main things that I really struggled with, because, you know, none of my family are vegan or plant-based. So one of my biggest struggles was just the lack of education, people not understanding, people not knowing, they're not being accessed, food deserts, intentionally being housed in a particular way and being surrounded by poison because, you know, they're setting you up to fail. And I really experienced that moving to the United States. And I was in shock, and I was like, okay, well, I am not a trained nutritionist or a dietitian. I'm just a girl that loves food and loves to cook and wants to save our people. And it's as simple as that. And it was really important for me to create a space that wasn't lecturing, that wasn't teaching, that was just showing up with some great guests, family and friends, and some good food, and just showing that there are options. It is affordable. It can be accessible. It just needs to be shared. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that this movement is a white, regentrified, unaffordable, whole foods movement. That is not true. That is not true. We've been doing this for centuries with the bare minimum. With
Please
some
say that
garlic,
again.
ginger,
Please
chili,
say that again.
and some rice, with the bare minimum. We've been doing it for centuries. And but a lot of our people don't know. They genuinely don't know. Well, you know, we're here to take the lid off the cat, you know.
And that goes to my next question. What do you think that it is going to take, even though we are the fastest growing demographic crossing over because of, you know, our health issues, where diabetes and heart problems and things of that nature.
We're at the top of the chain, sis.
But why do you think that we are still in a chokehold to not understanding that our health is our biggest currency? Because I say this every time I get a chance, that the minute that we decide to dial in and understand what that means, we will be unstoppable.
Listen, and that right there, what you just said, the minute we dial in, we will be unstoppable. So that's terrifying for some people, knowing that we would be unstoppable if we had the power, we had the tools, and we had the knowledge. I don't want to speak out of turn, but
speak. This is an open.
Listen, at the end of the day, if the government are not behind us,
right,
we're gonna have to rely on us on this, and it's hard because we can't reach everybody, we can't reach everyone. But I know when we do reach, I speak with hundreds and hundreds of Black men and women that never knew some real basic things. It's not
Yeah.
because they're not clever. It's not because they're not smart. It's not because they're not interested. It's because they haven't been taught. It's not in their environment. They're not being offered it. So little things like the Black Vegan Cooking Show, this is tiny in the grand scheme of things, but
Yeah.
if I can reach people like with a plate of goddamn food, then so be it. And I think that is the easiest way forward.
Yeah. Because
Through
people are
food.
so afraid that they're going to miss out. So the food is the key.
The
Because
food is
if
the
I
key.
can show you that, oh, you say that you can't let go because of hamburgers, let me
Mm.
show you about this hamburger over here.
Exactly. And if you think about it, if you can get to our people that way, and they make those tiny little changes,
Yes,
then what happens? They start to see some health improvements.
absolutely.
Then it sparks that conversation. Oh, my diabetes has gone down, my cholesterol, my blood pressure, I've lost a little weight.
Yes,
My breathing has got better. I'm not using my inhaler anymore. It automatically starts to spark off other things, conversations that you just don't want to have from the top.
right.
And I get that. So I'm kind of going the reverse way.
And you know we all like to eat, so that's it's definitely something that I also with what I do, because I also have I also have a show outside of this where I showcase all the hottest vegan spaces, and I
Yes,
knew
right.
that is something that for us, if we can be shown a different way, we'll be willing to go. But if the
Of
information
course.
is not there, or even just the slightest things, because people, and with what you're doing, because you're a chef, people are so scared to be in their kitchens.
Yeah. We need to break that myth. Get back in. If all you got is a can of beans, let's turn that can of beans into something real nice. You know what I mean? I mean, look what Tabitha Brown has done. This is a example, prime example of the possibilities. And
Yes,
it's not even about her being a huge success. It's it's her just she could be any of our cousins or aunts next door,
yes,
and she keeps it simple, and
yes,
and people don't feel intimidated. You know, they warm to her, and I think that is the key. It's like I said earlier, it's meeting people where they are, and
right,
then they feel comfortable, because everyone always feels judged. You know,
yeah,
especially like my older generation of my Jamaican family, like they always get really defensive.
right,
So I've had to, this is a learning process for me. I was maybe a little bit more aggressive in the beginning, or my dad died of cancer. Do you want to die of cancer too? Like, that's not really the way forward.
right,
I've had to change my approach too, and be like, well, I'm going to cook a little something. You guys want to pass by? And
right.
I jerked up this jackfruit. Like, trust me, it's banging. Come try it. Like, you bring the rotis, I'll jerk that up, and you bring it, and let's do this together. You just got to change. You got to change your approach.
And they get to smell it, and they're just turning their nose up like, I don't know, what is that you got in that pot?
Oh yeah, because it smells good, right? You could smell it from outside. Yeah. Exactly. The same, that's it. It's getting the same
Mm-hmm.
feels, you know. I don't, the feels I get in my kitchen are exactly the same as they were when I was a kid. And
Absolutely.
that is the essence, making sure that we keep all that good stuff in there.
So what are some of the things that you wish that people understood about the lifestyle in simpler, to touch on the simpler terms, because we've discussed how you know how affordable it is. We've discussed
Delicious it is.
how delicious it is. But what are some of the misconceptions, that other than those, that you wish people truly grasp?
I think one of the biggest things, the conversations that I come up against, it's protein deficiency. No one's ever had a protein deficiency in their lives. That just doesn't exist.
Okay.
calcium. Where am I going to get my vitamin D's? Where am I going to get my B12s? I'm anemic. And when I find myself in those spots, you know what I do? I take out my phone and I say, right, watch What for Health, watch Cowspiracy, watch Vegans of LA, watch Dr. Milton Mills. He's got this
Right.
little YouTube. It's like 60 seconds. It will straighten you out on the whole protein thing. That will straighten you out on the whole calcium thing. And those, I think there's so many great things you can watch now, and everybody wants to watch something. No one's ever lazy to watch something.
Right.
So many great documentaries and things out now that are not boring, you know.
Yeah.
That are not boring. And I think like the amount of times I've shared so many little YouTube clips of Dr. Milton Mills, it's like ridiculous.
I
And
love him.
when I can't translate it the way he does.
Right.
So I just pass him over. And every single person that watches him, they come back and we have a conversation. Because I learn and I'm learning from him. You know, it's a constant learning process for me too, you know?
And that's what I try to explain to people. You don't come over here like overnight, but some of us jumped out the window. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to hold you. Some of us jumped off the window. I mean, I've been in this space for 6 years, but I've had slip ups because, you know, we live in New York and, you know, at the beginning,
Yeah.
the pizza calls my name. It was calling my name at the beginning. But once you, it was.
The fish, you know what got me? Fish got me.
Oh my God. And
Fish was my
mussels?
slip up when I moved here. And then I got seafood poisoning twice, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
But
human.
what people don't understand is not a one and done type of situation.
No.
This is not your granny's veganism, plant-based, vegetarian lifestyle. It doesn't matter how you get over here. We just want you over here because it's important. And you can see by, you know, climate change, how it's important. Like, we're sitting here now, it's almost May, and I had a coat on earlier today. You know, it's supposed to be hot.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Going out wearing less. That's what we're supposed to be doing right now.
And that's my point. There are so many, we could delve deeper into this. There are so many other elements involved in our movement. I try to keep it, which I follow and I support. I'm an activist. I'm actually going on something really early in the morning at 5 a.m. But I'm going to give you that info actually.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something happening. I can't give it to you here for obvious reasons.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I don't want to get locked up. But that's the reason why I simplify what I share.
Right.
Because I don't want to lose people. It's very easy to lose people. And the Black Vegan Cooking Show just made it possible for me to reach so many people that I just couldn't reach. You know the amount of people that messaged me and said, Styles P is plant-based?
Yes.
He's got juice bars?
Yes.
In their neighborhoods, and they didn't even know.
It.
So I'm like, mission accomplished with that episode. There we go. We reached the people. Bad Girl Vegan. They're like, she made vegan oxtail. I can order vegan oxtail. I'm like,
yes. And she used to live up here.
These are all non-vegans. And I'm like, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
We're good. It's working.
Yeah.
It's working. So onwards and upwards to the next series.
Yes. It's just so crazy how, you know, it just takes one instance for you to be able to show people that, okay, you want collard greens, we got collard greens. You want cornbread, we got cornbread. Once we eliminate all of that, are you coming over to the green side or not? Because at this point, you're wasting my time.
It's really simple. And that's the thing. There's so many of us out here like making some amazing plant-based food. I stay in my lane. Like I cook what I grew up with. I am not going to attempt a vegan cornbread,
right,
vegan peach cobbler or grits because I don't know that food. So I am going to go to someone that does and they can serve me.
Absolutely.
And I am just going to stay in my lane and do what I do and play it safe.
So if you could tell anyone something positive about being in this space, opposite of what we've discussed all night or all the whole hour, what would be the one thing that you would want people to know about being over here on the green side?
Being over here on the green side.
Like if that could be your mantra, or if that would be the very last thing that you would tell somebody.
Very last thing. Lord have mercy. The very last thing.
Whether you tell them about the sale on
what
at Whole Foods, or the very last thing that you feel that would just entice them to want to know more about it, or how you're living in this space.
I would say, out of respect to your ancestors, it's only right that you come to the greener side, because they put all the foundations down. They laid down all the hard work. And out of respect to your ancestors, it's only right that we honor them and we come to the greener side.
You know what? I knew that's why I just said, I was like, I'm in love with her. Like anyone who talks about ancestors is good in my book, because for me, this is why I do what I do, because I want them to be proud of, their sacrifices. And I want to be able to say, whenever it's time for me to go upstairs, I don't want them to say, well, Angela, what was you doing down there? I don't want to respond and say all I was doing was chewing gum. I just can't do it. It's
not good enough. It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
We can do better. We can do much better.
We can do so much better. So tell everyone where we can see the show.
Okay, so the Black Vegan Cooking Show, we have already aired the 6 episodes that we filmed in New York.
Yes.
If you go to the link in my bio, it will take you to Madame Noir's YouTube, and the 6 episodes are there. Don't be lazy. They're only about 6-7 minutes long.
Right. They're 8 minutes and 42.
She knows. You're joining me soon anyway. We need to talk.
Girl. Wait, hold on. I got my backpack. Hold on.
I love you. You make
I
me
got
laugh.
my backpack. You can
But we are getting ready to film 6 more episodes in LA in July. I am freaking out about the guests.
You got this. Because the
crazy thing is, on this one, the guests came to us and asked to be a part of it. And
isn't that the best feeling?
I'm freaking out.
Now you know how I felt when you came and said something to me. Because I swear, if I could get my friend on the phone, I literally was talking about you the day before I flew out. Because I flew out on a Thursday. I came on a Thursday because I wanted a day just to be chilling. And then the next day, and I said it. I was like, oh my God. Because with me, I always come with a plan of attack. Like whenever I'm going somewhere and I know someone who is operating in our space, I don't be there just to be giggling and jiggling with the people holding
that's
fruit.
why when I spotted you, I was like, okay, there she is. Let's grab her. Her.
I'll be having a plan. I'll be like, oh, who's gonna be there? I had a list.
I knew I was hunting you down anyway. Because I was like, I don't know why she hasn't. Why am I not? Why? Where's my invite? Like, what's going on?
And when you told me you were in one of my lives, I was like, oh my God, for real? I
was on your live with the founder of the summit. That was when I was watching you, and I was like, oh, I love her.
Yes. And
I
I
love.
talked about you, and I was just like, oh my God. Because I had a list. I was just like, this person, and this person, I'm going to have them on my season 2 IG Live, because you are just such a light. And and I'm just so proud that I even get to witness it all, to be honest, because it's very rare that you find people who are authentically and genuinely themselves. And
It is.
there's nothing phony about you. You didn't know me about anything, and I swore that me and you had lunch last week.
Right.
And I'm just so grateful, because it is important for us to be in this space and lift each other up, because we
Absolutely.
are pioneers. And even though you might not think of yourself as that, I think of ourselves as that, because we are the new faces of what living life in abundance, living well nourished and moisturized. We
Oh my
are.
God. Well nourished and
Yes,
moisturized.
that's my
Yes.
new that's
Tell
my
them,
new
sis.
thing.
Moisturize.
Yes, I want to live a life of well nourished and moisturized, honey.
You are killing me. I love you. I'm honored, so honored that I'm here. You gave me the opportunity to share my story and share this space with you. We are more powerful together. I keep
Yes, we
telling
are.
them we need to
Yes, we
move through
are.
this universe as a unit, because
Absolutely.
and I nearly never went to LA, and I'm so glad that I did, because man, that was
It was a
something.
time. It just it put a fire underneath me, because it was a
Me
space where
too.
you felt seen.
I just felt like we have arrived.
Yes.
We
That's
have
what I felt
arrived. This
like.
is our space. We don't have to explain ourselves. It just, every time you saw someone, it was just instant, like, ah!
Yes.
I mean, I went back and blessed Paige for putting that beautiful lunch together for
Oh
us.
yes.
So I was so choked up. I was so emotional inside at that brunch, because it was a lot, and just being
Yes.
presence of such amazing queens. And I mean, it was a long shot getting us all together like that. I mean, you and
Yes.
I never meeting in New York where we live, and then
Yes.
going all the way to LA, and that's where we connect the dots. But that's how the universe was, gonna make it
But
happen.
before you go, who is your dream guest? Because who is
Mm.
your dream guest, and what would you cook for them?
My dream guest.
Like, out of anybody. I mean, of course they have to still be alive, because we can't do
Yeah,
nothing about that, but
my
but
dream.
who would be your dream guest to have on the show, and what would you cook for them?
My dream guest. God, there's so many. I'm gonna
Choose
allow them.
3.
Three. I can have three. Okay, my
Okay.
three dream guests. I would love to have Denzel Washington,
Ooh.
just because I fancy the pants off of him. And
Yes. He's from New
Denzel,
York.
Denzel at this age, yes,
Chef's
please.
kiss.
Um, what would I make for him? I think for Denzel, I would have to maybe sit with you or someone who's mastered vegan soul food. I'd have to master something. You'd have to teach me, and I'd have to master something, because I know he's a big soul food man. So I would come to you for some help.
We would both be in the kitchen looking like,
Actually,
does this work?
we could do Denzel together.
I would have to call in reinforcements, because I'm not a chef, but I can feed you.
Oh, what is a chef, babe?
A chef is someone who can do more than, put
Uh-uh.
2 ingredients together
Oh
and
no,
say
no,
voila.
that's true. That's not true. Mm-mm. So Denzel, count me in. Okay, Cherie, I don't know if we can share Denzel 3 ways, my love. I
Uh,
mean, my second guest, you know who I would love? I would love to have Alicia Keys.
yes.
I just,
That would be good.
I
And I can
love,
totally
I
see that.
love, I love her, and I don't need plant-based guests, but just her
Right.
energy. I know she appreciates, um, she
Wellness.
appreciates that lifestyle and wellness
Yes.
and health, and I would love to have Alicia Keys in. Oh my God, Alicia Keys, if you're watching, which you're clearly not, um,
You never know. You never know who's watching. And I've learned that the hard way and the easy way.
the hard way.
So what would you cook for her?
What would I cook for her? Ah. I think I would do, I know she likes fish. So I think I'd maybe jerk up some shrimp, some vegan shrimp. I
Mm-hmm.
might do a little bit of vegan red snapper, escovitch style,
Ooh.
green bananas,
Ooh.
jam. Yeah, I think I'd do
You have
that. But
one more person. You have one more.
one more person.
Yes.
Okay, I know you said I'm not allowed. They have to be alive, but I'm just gonna break the rules. It would
Okay.
be it would be my dad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd have him back in the kitchen and
absolutely.
I would just veganize everything that he used to make just to show him what the hell is going on now and
Absolutely.
what he has played a huge part in creating.
Absolutely. And I know he's proud. I know he's proud. And
He is.
you are just so great. You're so great. Does anybody want to ask her any questions before we sign out? Because other than that,
Actually,
they're going to have
I
to
want
slide
to
through them DMs.
tell you something. So I'm gonna be the New York Vegetarian Food Festival.
Yes.
I'm speaking on the Apple stage. I'm doing the parenting vegan panel.
Yes.
So Sunday, 22nd, 2 p.m. People go buy your tickets. You know,
Absolutely.
this is their 10th anniversary. So it's a really big one. They've got some great guests, great vendors. It's in New York. It's going to be amazing. And I'm looking forward to being part of an amazing
That
lineup.
is going to be so dope because it starts with the kids.
Yes.
It starts with the kids.
Yeah, and I've never had the opportunity to be on a panel talking about vegan parenting. So I'm just like, yes, please.
Really?
I'm like, I never get asked for that. So I'm like, yes, sign me up.
It's going to be an adrenaline. It's going to be an adrenaline rush. I cannot talk, but it's
Adrenaline.
going to be a rush for you because it's going to be one of those moments where you feel like I really got something to say.
Right.
Because it's a blur when you get up there, but then when you
It is.
feel the people who are really like, oh my God, what you're talking about is so true. It's the best feeling ever. And every time that I'm asked to be on a panel,
You're amazing.
I
You're amazing. You're
I'm
just
just
the
like,
best. You're the best host ever.
girl,
Yeah.
you know what? I'd be so tickled that someone wants to listen to whatever I'm talking about. That's and I'm just like, well, since I got 2 minutes, I'm going to show up as myself, and I hope y'all rock with it. But I just be so thankful because being in this space has changed my life.
Yeah.
And not just for just the way my brand is starting to grow, but it's changed my life because I'm getting to meet genuine, authentic people like yourself, Gwenna Hunter, Cherie, who's on here.
Yes, I love her.
Jenny Mack, she didn't get to come out here, but she's part of the Eat School that's here in New York. And the women that I have been honored and grateful to be able to know, they're also teaching me as well because I'm a forever student.
Listen,
Like this isn't like
I'm a forever student, and that's what people need to take away from this. Like, we don't know it all.
we
We're not
don't know it all.
trying to make out. I know nothing. It's like
Right.
I am learning by the day, and I'm putting my hands on a million things, and I am just seeing what's gonna stick. There's something really crazy happening next month, and I am gonna share it in a couple of weeks. But I've been asked to do something, and my head is spinning.
I'm proud of you already.
I'll share it with you once we get off.
Okay.
I'm like, why me? But hey, why not? Someone has to do it, right?
What do you
So,
mean, why me?
you know?
You're supposed to be like, yes, me.
I mean, yeah, me, but I'm
Yes,
like,
me.
okay.
If it ain't me, who's it gonna be? That's how you gonna.
Yeah.
That's how you have
And,
to come with it. Like, if it ain't me, who's it gonna be?
yeah, exactly. And I'm going to be sharing soon. I'm working on this amazing project on this
Mm-hmm.
farm in Pensacola. And it's with African American families. It's single mums and kids.
Oh
Uh,
wow!
yes, I'm gonna share it soon. But I'm collaborating with this team that are doing this 2-week farm retreat
You
for mums.
you know who you need to get in contact with, since you said farming, and I should have said this earlier when we were talking about changing the perception and how we are
Who are
starting
you
to
going
be in the
to say?
forefront, because now people are starting to want to know more about farming and foraging because they know what's coming. They know what's
Mm-hmm.
coming. And you need, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if do you know Omawale Adewale?
Yes, that's my boy. That's my people. I'm
He has
actually
it.
I'm a vendor at Black Veg Fest. I'm pulling up with the vegan Soulicious food this year.
Oh my God! Because I went last year and it was amazing. But now he has it where he has people come, because he has a huge farm,
Yes.
and he has it now where people can go,
They can
and
go
you
for
just choose a date.
with the
It's called,
tents and tenting and the camping, right?
yes, and they teach you camping, they teach you farming, they teach you
Let
all
me
of that stuff.
let me know if you ever do it, and I'll come with Emmy because I've been wanting to go. So let
Yes,
me know if
yes.
you do
It's
it. We can go
I'll
together.
definitely do that, because I'm like, well, let me figure out my schedule, because I know it's either on a
Yeah.
Saturday or a Sunday. And
Mm-hmm.
they even have a where they pick you up and they take you up there
It's
and then they
amazing.
bring you back.
So crazy because I was looking at it the other day and I was just like, because I was talking with Adam and I was like, I want to go with my daughter, but like we should
Yes.
make that. Let's make,
Yes.
honey. Cherie, we'll send you the info.
Yes. We'll send
It's
you the
amazing.
information. But Omawale Adewale, he is amazing. He is over the Black Vegan Fest. And anybody who is on here now, you guys need to sign up, because it is an experience to volunteer for them. It's a movement.
It's
And
a
it's in
movement.
New
Like
York every year.
he's the real deal. He
He's
is
the
the real
real deal.
deal. Like,
He is
listen,
everything. He is
people pull
everything.
up. It's
Pull up,
like,
because it's a good time. There's music, there's food, there's spoken word, there's education, and it's just all of us just,
I mean,
communing with each other.
it's my favorite festival. Period.
Yes, yes.
It's my
Every year. I think it'll be,
it's
I
like
think it's in August, September, that when they
yeah,
do it, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So those of you who are, come on up, pull up, get on the train, and they're always looking for volunteers.
Yeah,
Always looking for
they
volunteers.
were just posting yesterday. They're still looking.
Yes.
So people, it's an experience.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Very-
once again, when I say, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. This was the first episode for season 2 of Vegan Pop Eats Live. You started it off strong. I'm just so excited from what people will get from rewatching this episode, because you're just a gem. And I know people wear that out, and I know people say that, but you're really special, and I want you to know
oh,
that. And I want you to know that I am just so proud to even have met you, and I'm so excited to see where the Black Vegan Cooking Show is going to go, because when you open up the doors, there's some of us coming behind you, and we
listen,
about to blow this up.
we are kicking down those doors
Yes,
side by side.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
can't kick it down by myself, so I need you.
Yes, 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 yes. The more the merrier, and it's more food to go around. Well,
More
thank you again,
around.
and thank
I
you,
love
Cherie.
you.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
I'll be calling you when I get off of this. But yes, thank you everyone who was here for the first episode of Vegan Pop Eats Live. You got to witness greatness, and I don't know what you're going to do with that, but you witness greatness, and this will be living on Vegan Pop Eats page, so you can go and rewatch it and because I find that when you're in it, you don't really get everything, but then when you rewatch it, it's just a different energy, and it's a different form and different information. So rewatch, make sure you share, make sure you tell everyone that Vegan Pop Eats is back. Make sure you also go and watch the 6 episodes because you don't want to be behind. Because
yeah, come on. I mean, I every couple of weeks now, I'm kind of just resharing it and saying, guys, if you missed it.
right, right. But you don't want to miss it because you need to support this, because the more people who know about this show is the more that we can get the knowledge out there about our health being our biggest currency. And as soon as we realize that, we will be unstoppable. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. And we have some more
Are
popping
you doing
episodes
this
coming.
every week? What's the deal? Where can my people find? Is this a weekly thing now?
I do. I've always been doing it every week on Tuesdays, 6
I'm
p.m.
late. I'm late to the party.
You ain't late. I got all the episodes still up there, but every week I will be having someone on live that's in this space that's doing great things. And just, you know, sharing the wisdom, because we don't care how you get here. We just want you over here.
I want to say a big thank you to you. You are like so important. This is such a special space. It's necessary. I know you put a lot of work into this. I see you. Like, this is no joke, Anna. We appreciate you. We love you. And I'm honored that you had me on here today. So no more thank yous to me. We're giving you your flowers and we're saying
thank you. I love my pop stars, and that's what they named themselves. But yes, thank you to everyone who is supporting both of our brands. You know, it's only up from here. And, you know, we're going to make you proud. We're going to make the ancestors proud. And yes, 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 yes.
We've got so much stuff happening. It's going to be a great year.
It's going to be an amazing year. And we will see you next Tuesday. No, let me stop. I have an interview next Tuesday. So the following Tuesday, the following Tuesday on the 24th, okay, I will be having the Korean vegan will be on here.
That's my girl.
The 24th. And I'm
tuning in.
I'm a gag.
She needs to come feed me.
Yeah, okay. We need to go to LA because that's where she's moving to and get some food.
Like crazy.
Well, see everyone later and bye.
Love you, sis.
Bye.
Bye.